Masters magazine is one of the UK's leading cake decorating monthlies. It includes fabulous step-by-step cake tutorials, recipes, expert advice, competitions, interviews, design inspirations and so much more. You can order your 12-month subscription to Cake Masters magazine right here for just £35 and with free UK P&P. To order your 12-month subscription, either visit createandcraft.tv or call 09056 480 480 and quote the item number on your screen.
Hello there and a very good afternoon. Welcome to our regular slot on a Sunday at 5 o'clock for the brilliant Cake Academy. I'm Dave Bradford with you for the next hour. Do remember that if cake decorating is your thing and you've maybe missed some of the Cake Academy shows, you can always look back at them on the website, of course, createandcraft.tv. Equally, if you'd like to make sure you record and never miss a Cake Academy, we do have the facility of series linking with Sky. So if you're a Sky customer, you can actually series link and it will record every single show from the Cake Academy and anything kind of related to it as well during the week. So that's basically what this show's all about. It's all about learning how to decorate in the most incredible way the cakes that you make at home, whether they're for your family, for your friends, or whether they're to sell, or maybe even starting a little business. We'll be talking about that throughout the show as well. Now, we're well aware that a lot of you tune in to this show who maybe don't watch Create and Craft during the week. So if you're one of the new viewers, warm welcome. Lovely to have you with us. Is cake decorating your thing? Let me explain what you're going to see on the screen, because right now you can see what we call the L. And the reason it's called an L is because it's in the shape of the letter L. That's the only reason we call it that. At the top of the L, you'll find the item number for the item that we're talking about at any particular time during the show. Fran, our guest, could be using a mould, she could be using a certain sugar paste. Well, the details of that and how you can get hold of it and order it will be there. That's the item number that you need to quote on the phones or need to make sure that you've got in the box on the website. Beneath it, you've got a description of exactly what that item is and what's included in that item. Then we come on to what we say the club price will be. Now, that's if you're a member of the Create and Craft Club. And if you are, you always get 10% off. So if you want to join today, it's 148319 to become a member of the Create and Craft Club. Just £20 to join. You get a £10 credit straight back. That's for a whole year. And you can put that £10 towards something in the show today. Then the most important thing, the Create and Craft Club price, and beneath it, the price if you're not in the club. Then how to get in touch and how to order. You can order on our phone lines 09056 480 480, or if you'd rather order on the website, which is the preferred choice for most people these days, www.createandcraft.tv. We've also got an app that you can download as well. Now, before we do any more, the details on the screen at the moment are referring to this. Now, if you love your sugar craft, this is a book that's an absolute must-have. This is the Squire's Kitchen International School, The Art of Sugar Craft. This is a book and a half. Everything you need to know about the skill and how to master your skills as well. This is £44.99. It's got a book price of normally £50, £44.99 if you're in the Create and Craft Club, and the item number for it is 367101. Now, it may well be you're thinking, Squire's Kitchen, I recognise that. Well, it's a cake decorating in a chocolate school, and Mark Tilling was our guest a few weeks ago, who went on to win the creme de la creme on the BBC, which you may have seen a couple of weeks ago. This is the lovely Fran Willoughby from Squire's Kitchen. Good to see you, Fran. Welcome to the Cake Academy.
Thank you.
And this is your first time on, so it's great to have you with us. It was a pretty special moment. Mark, when he was with us a few weeks ago, couldn't say, obviously, how well he did or didn't do. Yeah. And I was watching the first one, and I saw that he went out, so I thought, oh, that's a shame, never mind. And then I caught the last one, and he won it.
He did. He was the highest runner-up in the first round, and then he went on to win. So we were so proud of him.
Well, I bet. Tell us a little bit about Squire's Kitchen, because it's based down south, isn't it?
It is. Squire's Kitchen is a family-run business. It was established in 1984, I believe, by Beverly Dutton, and it's now run as a family business. They basically, there's a school and an online shop, and then there is the and obviously the trade side of things as well. So we sell both to wholesale and retailers and to the public as well.
And so you must have seen a massive upturn in interest in Squire's Kitchen since the creme de la creme, surely?
Yeah, I believe so. Yeah, definitely.
And what do you do? How do you fit into it? What do you do?
Okay, so well, I started when I had my children, as most people do. It's the same story. I fell into cake decorating, and I was so lucky. My local shop was Squire's Kitchen, and so I ended up going in there 4 or 5 times a week. And and started working in the shop, and then slowly but surely worked my way up through the echelons, and I now work with the trade team, and I also teach.
So you work with Mark in the school?
Yeah, he runs the school, and I teach in the school as well.
Fantastic.
So,
It's great to have you with us. Now, your forte, well, look, Do I need to say anything else other than look at those flowers? This is your speciality, isn't it?
Yeah. Sugar flowers is the main thing that I would teach normally, but I also, working in the trade team, working with all our traders, I also get the opportunity to work with all our other products and demonstrate those regularly as well. So quite a lot of those I'm going to be showing you today.
Brilliant. So our main focus is this collection just here. This is what you're going to be seeing come to life in various different stages throughout the hour. So have a little note paper handy and jot down the item numbers of what Fran is using, and then feel free to order if you want to anything that's available in the show. So what are we going to be doing first of all then, Fran?
So the first thing I'm going to show you is how to cover a cake, and not just how to cover a cake, but how to cover a cake and get these sharp edges, because sharp edges have become more and more fashionable over the last few years, and professionals have been doing it for quite a while now.
Is it more contemporary, or?
Yeah, I suppose it is really, yeah. I mean, it's just a different style, isn't it? It's not, you don't have to do it that way, but it's become, I think, more mainstream in the last few years, and so I think, you know, a lot of just normal people want to do it for their children's cakes, and so it was just a case of showing you how you can achieve that at home. OK, well, after we've done the demo, we will give you a little shopping list of what Fran's used in a demonstration if you want to recreate what you're about to see, so just to let you know, that's on the way. Okay. What do you want to do first? OK, so basically I've just, I made a cake, and I've covered it in buttercream. Now, a lot of professionals often say to cover a cake with ganache, which is absolutely brilliant. It's really important that for sharp edges that you get this edge here that's really important, that you have a nice firm base. But, you know, at home, a lot of people, they wouldn't know how to make ganache necessarily, or you know, or wouldn't have the facilities. And so, you know, I thought it was important that I showed a buttercreamed cake today, just to show that you can get the same results. I must admit, I've not got a particularly sweet tooth, but I do like buttercream. Yeah, it's one of my favourites. Well, it's a nice big bowl full here. So basically, I've just mixed up some buttercream in a handheld mixer, like the Smeg over there. Oh, now just to let you know, every Cake Academy we've done so far over the last couple of months, I'd say, we've had only a few of these available, and they've been really very popular indeed. We have a couple, I believe, available right now. It is iconic, isn't it, for refrigerators and all sorts of kitchen equipment. It's a lovely mixer, very retro, beautifully made. It is in stock if you'd like to find out more about it on the website, createandcraft.tv. We've got it there as well. If you're in the club, it's only $314.99 for a Smeg mixer. That's a good price, very good price, and it's on 4 flexis as well of just $78.75, your first payment today, plus the P&P. Yeah, so it's really important that you get a nice firm edge. What you can do is pop it in the fridge. So build up your layers with your sponge cake or whatever it is that you're using, and then use your buttercream. Just make sure you spread it on. Use a cranked palette knife like this is really useful. And just spread it on and get a nice smooth finish. If you want to, you can just pop it in the fridge for 10 minutes just to firm it up really well. Is there a specific recipe for buttercream? But there is. It's a very basic standard recipe. It's just however much butter you use, you would use twice the amount of icing sugar. Right. And then if you want to, you can add flavourings or flavoured icing sugars as well, which Squire's Kitchen actually do make those as well. Excellent. So yeah, I'm just going to pop that to one side for a moment. So I'm going to start to knead my sugar paste. This is Squire's Kitchen sugar paste, in Lullaby Blue, this one. This is already pre-coloured for you. This is pre-coloured, yeah. Just move this out of the way. So what we've got on the screen now for you is basically the paste, obviously, but also you're getting the sugar paste bundle with the Starting a Cake Decorating business book as well, or a business book from home. There we go, look. So that's what you're getting. So you get the sugar paste. You're also getting the colouring. The sugar paste, this is the pre-coloured sugar paste, which is in the main bundle, but we're also doing a bundle which is just white sugar paste, which has got colourings with it. So what's in that kit with the Start Your Cake Decorating business? You've got the book? The glue, the lustre, the glue and lustre, the flour paste, and some sugar paste in there as well, some coloured sugar paste. Superb. White sugar paste. There it is on the screen. Yeah, so it's really important that you need the sugar paste. Squire's Kitchen sugar paste is slightly different to other sugar paste that's on the market, I think, personally. It's a bit firmer, and what that allows you to do is you can use it in more ways. It gives you more versatility, and it also means that for rolling out and getting sharp edges, you can roll it a little bit more thinly, and it just means that you got more options to get that nice straight edge. We've heard some of our experts talk about adding Tylo and things like that. You don't need to do that with the Not with this. No, you with a softer sugar paste you may need to do that. Some perhaps shop bought brands, but this one you don't. Right. It's a professional paste. Good. And it is firmer. You know, Squire's Kitchen, they do provide themselves in in producing high quality products, and as well it's fair trade, which we're really proud of.
Great.
It's the first ever certified fair trade sugar paste.
Just look at the consistency of it.
It's really smooth and it's really, really forgiving. It's lovely. It's a really lovely paste to use. As long as you knead it and make sure you get lots of air into it. And all I'm doing here is just rolling it out, and every time I roll, I do a quarter turn, just to make sure that, because you apply your pressure differently. You apply pressure different with your right hand to your left hand, so that's why you keep turning it, to make sure that you're applying the same amount of pressure.
Well, I suppose you use one hand more than the other, depending if you're right or left-handed.
Yeah, and without realising it, you would apply pressure differently.
Never thought of that.
Yeah, yeah. And I've also got on the end of my rolling pin here just some rolling pin rings. You can use spacers if you want, but all it means is that when the rolling pin rings hit the board, that you know that you've got your sugar paste, sorry, is all going to be the same depth.
The perfect depth and thickness.
Yeah, yeah. So that when you cover your cake, you get a nice even covering.
It's a lovely colour blue as well.
Yeah, it is rather nice, isn't it? OK, so I'm just going to get this really rolled out nice, and
it's a bit of a workout, isn't it?
It is, yeah. Yeah, it is under the lights too. So if you go down to the height of the board, I can see my rolling pin rings are not quite touching the board, so I'm just going to keep rolling there. And I also put a little bit of ice and sugar on the board, just to stop it sticking.
Because you actually did have your own cake decorating business that you ran from home, so if you wanted to do what Fran was doing before she got involved with Squire's Kitchen on a professional level, the book in this would be really good because it gives you lots of hints and tips.
It really does. It's really interesting because actually running a business from home is not just about making the cakes.
No.
It's all about everything else that goes with it.
Marketing.
It's on the marketing and all the accounts and everything like that. So it's a brilliant book for that. Kathy Moore, she teaches at our school as well, and she wrote that book. It's fantastic.
Brilliant.
So once you get your sugar paste to the desired size and thickness, if you just roll it over your rolling pin, then just bring your cake in. You don't want to be lifting it too far because the sugar paste will stretch, and just lay it over the top of the cake, okay? And then just with your hand, just going to smooth it out. And the most important thing to do is attach this top edge, because that's the bit that's going to be the most vulnerable, yeah? So just keep pulling it out because you don't want any pleats to develop around, so you're just going to attach that top edge. Keep pulling it round, and if you want, at this stage, I always like to just pop it up onto a turntable. I find it just easier because it lifts, but when you're covering the cake, you don't want to put it on the turntable at that point, because otherwise you're lifting it too high.
Sure, I get you.
Yeah.
I mean, it looks like, and it looks like it behaves itself really well. It looks like a lovely product to work with.
It does. It's a really lovely product to work with. And you just keep stretching it out so that you're just getting rid of those pleats, and just gently, with the heel of your hand, just push it into the base of the cake there. And if it's on the turntable, it's just easier to turn.
And remember, you are getting this colour sugar paste in the bundle that's on the screen right now, and the book, and you also get, of course, your glue and the shimmer, did you say, was in there as well?
The luster dust, yes.
And also you've then got a pack of your sugar paste, florist paste as well, so the ultrafine flour modelling paste, that's included too.
OK, so once you've got to the stage where you feel like all the sides are covered, you just take a smoother and just smooth off the paste. And you need to remove all this excess from around the edge, so just press down gently, just to make sure that it's all attached at this bottom edge here.
But you can reuse that, can't you?
Yeah, of course, yeah, definitely. We would never waste anything. Just take a little palette knife or a little sharp knife and just cut around and just cut that excess away. You don't want to cut too close to the cake at this stage, just in case you take too much away. It's always easy to take more off than put it on again at the end.
What's your favourite cake to decorate? Do sponge cakes and fruit cakes behave badly or differently, or are they very
fruit
similar?
cakes are nice to cover because they're nice and firm.
Right.
So you always have a good base to cover. But equally, if you use ganache or something like that, then you would have the same. But actually, in terms of actual cakes, I love making wedding cakes.
Wedding cakes, that's your favourite, is it?
And actually people with wedding cakes nowadays tend to have lots of different flavours. So you're always, often in one cake you could have several different types of flavours. So all I'm doing here now is just going round and just making sure that I've got rid of all the excess paste around the bottom, just so that you've got a nice clean edge around the bottom here.
So if you want the smoothers and the colourings as well, that detail is on the screen right now, so that's $22.49 if you're in the Create and Craft Club. So you're getting all of those colours that you can see there, both sets. These are like the kind of basic primary colours that you'll need, and you also get the smoothers included too. The smoothers you would use obviously for getting the sharp edge.
That's right, exactly.
Yep.
I mean, the lovely thing about cake decorating is obviously the options are endless, you know, and the nice thing about that bundle there is, you know, you don't have to cover it. You could do this project, but you don't have to do it in blue. You could do it in pink, you could do it in, you know, in yellow, anything. Just and what you get in those with the QFC colours is all the different colours to make any.
Now we do also have, backed by popular demand, our professional colouring set that I know the last time we had a Squire's Kitchen show, this was the best-selling item in the entire show. So if you missed it before, this is almost like a briefcase of colour, every colour you could possibly wish for, and some very specific shades as well. $44.99, and this is basically your, this is a paste, so a little bit on plain sugar paste is all you need to change the colour of it completely.
Absolutely. So basically you, when in Sugarcraft, there are 3 different types of colourings that you would ever have. There's liquid, there's paste or gel, sometimes people call it, or dust. And you use different things for different uses, obviously. Generally for sugar paste, colouring sugar paste, you'd always use a paste or a gel colour because you don't want to alter the consistency of the sugar paste because it will change the way it behaves. So if you were to use liquid, it just wouldn't work.
Right, okay.
But so yeah, so what we're selling today is the paste colours.
Okay, well we have got those, remember, in the show if you'd like them. $44.99, and it opens a flexi basket for you as well. Let me just explain what that means. If you want to spread the cost over 2 payments, one payment this month and one payment next month, absolutely you can do that. So it's $22.50 today, plus your postage, which will be $2.99, and then the final $22.50 comes off your card you use today in 4 weeks' time. And that will then give you all of those fantastic pastes, which you can, of course, colour your paste with. And, of course, that gives you a flexi basket, and anything else on the show can go into that flexi basket, or anything else you want to buy from us today will go into that flexi basket if you want to. Right, now to show you how to get the sharp edge, because at the moment it's still quite curved, isn't it?
It is. We call that a chamfered edge.
Right.
And so what I've got here are these 2 pieces of plastic. Obviously they're food grade, and these are Bellissimo Flexi Smoothers. These were devised, this is a product that was devised by a friend of mine, Helen Mancy, and she has a company called Bellissimo Wedding Cakes, and this is her, and she was written a brilliant book for us. But these are her product, this is her thing.
So baby.
Yes, and basically as it became more fashionable, she wanted something that could give her that edge. So this is how you use it. Now, if you are right-handed, you'll notice one of them has a rounded edge and one has a straight edge.
Yep, can see that.
So the straight edge is the one that you're going to use on the side of the cake, and the one with the rounded edge is you're going to use on the top.
Right.
Okay. I'm right-handed, so I'm going to take the rounded edge in my left hand, and you always work over the cake. Again, if you work on the same part of the cake, you know you're applying the same amount of pressure.
Right.
If I'm working this way, I'm going to do it differently to if I do it here. So the best way to do it is always to work over. Okay, so you're going to, first of all, just line up the edge of the cake here, the top, lay it on the top, press it against the edge, and you'll notice that actually that sat just a millimetre or so over the edge of the cake. If you pull this too far back when you're working with it, what you'll end up with is a tapered effect at the top, which obviously you don't want. You want your sides to be lovely and straight. So it's really important that you just take the time at the very beginning just to make sure that you're putting that in the right place. So it's just ever so slightly over the edge of the cake.
Okay.
And then you're going to take your the square one in your right hand, and you're just going to very carefully just pull the paste up to that top edge.
Ah, right.
Okay. So it's meeting the round, and the rounded edge sits very nicely along the round side of the cake. This is an 8-inch cake, so these are the medium Bellissimo Flexi Smoothers. If you were doing a smaller cake or a large cake, there are 2 other sizes as well.
But you get the medium in the bundle, yeah?
You get the medium in the bundle,
right.
and you know, if you were only going to buy one set, the medium would be the set to get.
That gets around most problems.
You could, you could work it out with most cakes.
Just basically teasing the sugar paste upwards.
Absolutely, that's it. So you're just working, and once you've sort of got the paste up to the top, just work in little circular motions. And you're just going to, but you've got to be very careful not to press too hard on this one, otherwise you'll leave lines. But the lovely thing about, I mean, I don't know if you can see.
Yeah, you can.
But on the top here, there is ever such a slight line where the top's been. But the lovely thing about our sugar paste is you can just smooth it, and it just goes. It's really forgiving.
But look at that now, very precise edge to the cake.
Yeah, and then you would turn your cake around.
And carry on.
And carry on. And so you're going to work all the way around. Just very carefully, you don't, again, not pressing too hard on the top, but just teasing the paste up to that top edge and working in circular motions. And every time, take it off, just make sure that you've not pressed too hard and just smooth out any little lines that might have created on the very top. And you just work your way around the whole cake. And if you want to, you know, then at the end you can always go back on sections of the edge and just redo it if you want to get it even sharper.
Superb.
Yeah.
Well, there we go. That's how easy it is to do that particular technique. Now, let's remind you what Fran's used already. Let's start with the smoothers, first of all, because that's a technique I've not seen before on the Cake Academy, so maybe you're the same and you're thinking, oh, I want to do that. Here you've got actually 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 different colours from Squire's Kitchen. These are, remember, the pastes, so they, again, can be added to maybe plain sugar paste to give you a lovely colour, and a little bit goes a long, long way. You also get a 1 kilo pack of the sugar paste as well. Is that sugar paste in white, Fran? That one? That
one,
yeah.
yes.
So that's white, so you can add the colour to make it whatever colour you wish. And then you get your medium smoothers as well. So you'll get the whole lot for £22.49. And I presume, not that I'm an expert, but the paste looks like it'll last a long, long, long time.
It does. I mean, generally, I think it's got at least a year, generally, the sugar paste.
And do you apply it with like a toothpick or something? Or how do you actually put the colour onto the paste or into the paste?
Yeah, a toothpick or a little palette knife or anything.
Great.
Yeah.
Okay. 375-367, £22.49 if you want that. And then, of course, the first kit that we touched on, that comes with the beautiful blue sugar paste that we were using in that last demonstration as well. And just to remind you of what you get in that particular bundle, you've got the sugar paste itself in the blue, you get the florist paste as well, the bridal white paste, you get some edible glue, your book as well, of course, which is Start Your Own Cake Decorating Business at Home, and you've also got your metallic lustre as well. So all of that in one bundle for just £25.19. Really busy for this at the moment. I mean, if it appeals to you, starting your own cake decorating business, like Fran quite rightly said, it's not just a case of making lovely cakes and selling them. There's an awful lot more to it than that, running your own business from home. So that book covers everything, not just cake decorating, but how to market yourself, how to advertise, how to get, well, how to make a profit, basically, turn it into a successful business. And that is the bundle which is in the lead at the moment, 375-345 if you'd like to go for that. £25.19. That could be the best £25.19 you've spent if you start to make a business from home. Fantastic. Because Fran used to be an actress, and then you had children, so that wasn't then practical. So that's how the cake decorating started. Absolutely.
Most people, if you speak to anyone that's in the cake decorating industry, most people were something else first. Not everyone, but a lot of people do. It tends to come, you know, you're looking for something that can be flexible, something that you can do around the children. And certainly that's why it worked for me. And it was a different way to get a creative buzz.
Yeah. And it certainly is incredibly creative.
Yeah, absolutely.
OK, so that's our first part of the show. Next, we're going to talk more about the decorating side of it, aren't we? Yeah.
So, as you can see on this cake here, there's sort of a rope decoration that runs all the way around. You know, and part of getting that professional finish is getting your spacing really perfect. Obviously, if things were uneven, if all the spacing was even, if that's the look you're going for, if you want it to be uneven, then fine. But I like mine, I'm a bit of a perfectionist, so I like things to just be very even.
It looks lovely, but I wouldn't know where to start to do it.
Well, it's very easy, really. The first thing you need to do is create a little template.
Right.
OK, so all I've done here is get some greaseproof paper, and I measured the side of my cake, so I know that roughly this is going to be the right height. And I measured it round, so I measured around the outside, so I know how long my template needs to be. And then I've also measured the height of where I want my rope to come down to in the centre here. So it's just a little bit of measuring. You've just got to get your ruler out.
And this is just greaseproof paper,
just greaseproof paper, yeah. It's just rough, you know. It's nothing too in depth. Literally, all I'm going to do is just wrap that around the cake. Figure out where you want your front to be. Now, I did cover the board with a little bit of sugar paste as well, just rolled out a strip, and then popped a bit of ribbon round with a touch of like a non-toxic glue stick just to stick it round. It just finishes it off, I always think.
Lovely.
But so where my ribbon is attached at the back, I know that's the back of my cake there. So I'm just going to fix it at the back with a little, and I've got a little bit of masking tape there, just to attach that together, just so that it holds nice and straight around the cake. I'll just bring that over here now. Oh, it's just come undone. Must be the heat. Okay. But basically, all you need to do now is just take, this is called a scribing tool.
Okay.
But it's just, you could use steriliser pin if you wanted with a little boiling water. And just go round and just put little marks, just mark into the sugar paste.
Oh, where you've marked the greaseproof paper?
Yes,
just
exactly.
Pierce it? Just
pierce, just so you know exactly where you need it to be.
That's how you get the depth of the rope exactly right every time.
Absolutely. So you just, and all you're doing is putting a little tiny pinprick in, which is going to be covered up anyway. So top. Ooh. Try not to let go of the
Do you think you might take part in creme de la creme next year if it
oh,
comes back for no?
I'm not a baker. No.
It must have inspired an awful lot of people though to start thinking about that, because they were amazing creations, weren't they?
Absolutely
all of them.
phenomenal. And Mark is so lovely, and he's such a talented. He was actually he was UK Chocolate Master for 3 years, and he was also 7th in the world.
I got told off by a few people because I was so pleased for him. I put a little picture of him and I doing the show onto social media, saying congratulations, and then people said, "We're still watching it on catch up."
Oh no!
Sorry,
you got the cat out of the bag.
Oopsie.
Okay, so so the next thing I'm going to do is just now that I've marked up where I know that my rope needs to fit. I should say as well about the sugar paste, it comes in a really nice bag with a little clip, so you don't have to, you know, if you were to get a kilo and you don't think you'd use it all at once.
Right, you can keep it fresh.
You can keep it fresh.
How long does it last once you've actually opened the bag, roughly?
If you seal it up properly, it should last indefinitely, really.
Great. I mean, it's pure sugar, isn't it?
It does get to a point, yeah. I mean, it does get to a point where it does go a little bit dry and crumbly. But you can always just add a little bit of white fat into it if you want to bring it back if it's got a bit dry.
Right.
So, yeah, you shouldn't have a problem. And it usually just takes a little bit of a firm knead. And
build up your muscles.
Yeah, that's it. And you can get it back to where it was. It always helps as well when you're working with it. If you were to keep it in a plastic bag in between, then it just stops the air getting to it and means that it doesn't dry out.
So now we're coming on to the decorative part. Now, obviously, professionals use moulds, as do we at home as well. So what we've got for you is the Squire's Kitchen Tea Party moulding bundle. You get 3 moulds, and you get some sugar paste and cupcake cases to get you started as well. Do you get coloured sugar paste in this one? I can't remember.
I think it's
the pink sugar paste in that one. That's it.
Yeah,
with the cupcake cases, and you get the 3 moulds as well. They are silicone and they're food grade, obviously.
It's this sugar paste, the ballerina pink.
Right, okay.
Yeah, that you get in there. So first of all, just to create the rope, I'm just going to take a little bit of the sugar paste. Just popping it in a bag on the side, take my own advice. And what I'm going to do is just add to that, to each one, some of the florist paste. Now, what the florist paste does is it adds strength to the paste. So this is just white sugar florist paste, and it's what I use to make all the flowers and everything. But it can also be used for other things, you know, namely for strengthening paste. So if it sort of turns it into a sort of modelling paste.
Okay.
You would notice that when you knead it, it starts out quite a lot harder.
Oh, we've got the moulds down here. Let me just reach over and there we are. Let's have a little look.
Yeah.
These are the moulds that you're getting. So they come individually wrapped as well. So you've got that one, which is the hearts in various sizes. Always handy to have that one. This next one, you've got your cupcake and your cup and saucer and your slice of cake. And then you've got the beautiful rose. Now, that's going to be used a lot, I'm sure. And that's on the top of the cake that we've got here. It's been used probably a good, dozen times or more. There we are, look. A mound of those wonderful roses. So these are the moulds that we used to do that, or you used to do that.
Yeah.
Not me. I'm not taking any credit.
Well, you can have a go if you want.
Yeah, great.
So I've basically just kneaded the white flour paste now. So you saw it was quite firm when I took it out, but now it almost gets to the consistency of chewing gum. Can you see how stretchy it is in comparison to the sugar paste?
Yes.
So that's the difference.
Right.
You see, this, I mean, and this is edible, but this dries extremely hard. So it dries, because for flowers you would roll it extremely thinly. And
is that what you've made these flowers out of here?
Exactly,
I mean, just look at these lilies for a second. I know we're not demoing that, but just look at how fine those petals are. They are amazing. Wow, that's your forte. That's what you're known for more than anything else.
I learned sugar flowers from Paddy Clark, who is one of our senior tutors, and actually one of the books that we've got today, Sugar Flowers for Beginners, this one is her book.
Okay.
And that's she taught me.
So everything Fran knows about flower making is in this book. Yeah, so you are getting really a tutorial from the expert, but in paper and book form. And it's on the screen. It's only £13.59 if you want that. If you're in the Crate and Craft Club, just over £12, £12.23, and it really takes you step by step. Look at these wonderful flowers. These are amazing.
She's an amazing teacher. She really is, and she creates beautiful, beautiful things.
Wow, it's all pictured step by step as well. So that's another book maybe you want to add to your collection. It's in stock on the website right now. And also, talking of markers we were, while I'm down there, you may recognise this lady. Mackie Searle, do you recognise her? She was also in the Creme de la Creme, but not in the same team as Mark. This is her book. And she works with you at Squire's Kitchen, doesn't she?
She teaches sometimes.
Teaches,
yeah, she does, and she wrote that book for us. Yeah.
Well, this is from Makiko Searle. If you recognise her and you want to get hold of her book, Cakes to Fall in Love With, and that's £10.79, all romantic-themed cakes in that one. So we've got lots of books to choose from. They always make great gift ideas for someone that you know that's into cake decorating. So they're all there on the website.
So I'm just mixing the sugar forest paste in with the sugar paste now. You will notice it lightens the colour ever so slightly, but it doesn't matter. Obviously you can allow for that or add a little bit more colour in if you want to, if it goes a bit lighter than you originally wanted. But what that has now done has meant that this, given the sugar paste some stretch.
Right.
So it means that I can make this behave differently to how it did before, but because it's got sugar paste in it, it won't dry too hard.
Right.
So, you know, great Auntie Norma doesn't break her teeth, bless her. So that's that, and then I'm going to do the same with the darker colour.
So just remind me again, this sugar paste mixed with
sugar florist paste.
Sugar florist paste, which you get in one of the kits, of course, as well.
It's in the main cake decorating bundle.
In the main cake decorating kit. Okay.
Yeah. So once you've got that all nice and mixed up, it doesn't take long. Just again building up your muscles. And obviously the other thing to note, because this has got florist paste in it, will dry a little bit quicker than you would expect it to. So you do just have to work a little bit faster.
Now, we have actually got the florist paste as well. If you want that on its own, it is available on the website. I think we can put the details up for it now as well. A kilogram of that, if that's what you'd like, is £13.49. 375-400 is your item number, of course. And remember, the way the postage works, in case you're a brand new viewer, if you buy 3 items or more, different item numbers, you pay no more than £6.99 postage. If you buy the same item more than once, your P&P stays at £2.99. So just to let you know that, if you're not a regular viewer to us.
OK, so I'm just going to take a little piece of each of the colours, and I'm going to roll a sausage. OK? You don't need lots and lots. Obviously, what we need to do for this is to make sure that we get a nice even sausage shape. And it's got to be quite thin, obviously, because it's quite delicate.
Yeah, sure. That's a lovely big board you've got as well.
Thanks. Yeah. It's very handy.
That's a Squire's Kitchen purchase as well, is it?
It is. It's like anything with crafting. You end up with cupboards and cupboards full of stuff, because of course you need all the tools to get the job done. Yeah. And it's the same with cake decorating.
Do you still do your cake decorating business, or is it all teaching now at Squire's?
No. Well, I work in the trade team at Squire's as well, so that's sort of my day job. And then I moonlight in the school when I have when there's some teaching opportunities available as well for me. So so do that. So you'll notice I'm having to keep taking a bit off the end, because obviously it's getting longer and longer as I get thinner and thinner. And I'm just using, and rather than using my fingers, because obviously your fingers have got bumps in them, if I was to do it with my fingers, it'd end up with a very lumpy, bumpy rope.
Yep.
So just using one of the smoothers just means that...
You get a more even...
That's it, you just
surface.
get a more even finish to your sausage. Just be careful not to flatten it like I did there. But if you just go over it, it'll go back round again.
Lovely.
So lovely. So I've got that one like that, and then I just need to do
how many
the
of
same
those did you get wrong before you got it perfectly right? It's
too
like
many,
a generation
actually.
game thing,
yeah,
isn't it?
you've just not got to press too hard.
Right.
That's the key.
Light touch.
Yeah. And then obviously I'm just going to do the same thing with this one. You don't need to use the smoother at the start. You can just use your fingers until you get it a little bit smaller. And then just work the smoother. Again, I'm not pressing very hard. I will look like I am, but it's actually all I'm doing is letting the smoother and the board work together. The board's very good because it's non-stick. What's
it made from? Is it a certain type of plastic or something?
Yeah, so it's like a silicone,
Right.
sort of silicone, I think.
Well, check our website because we actually stock everything, not only that Squire's Kitchen bring us, of course, in the show today, but also the Wilton brand. We've got the entire collection of Wilton accessories and tools as well. So if you're looking for boards and things, have a little look at createcraft.tv. You'll find, I'm sure, what you're looking for there.
Yeah. So I just need to get this a little bit thinner because you're looking to get both sausages sort of a similar diameter. Taking a little bit off the end. You'll probably have to make quite a few of these because obviously you've got, as you can see on there's quite a lot of rope around, but I'll just show you a section today.
Do you make them one at a time or can you kind of stockpile a whole load of them?
You can't really because it dries too quickly.
Right, so you need to do it one at a time.
Yeah. So I'm going to take a little bit of edible glue here. And
that's from the first kit that we showed you.
Yeah, and a brush. Yep. Just a little brush, and you don't want to apply too much because it goes a bit slimy otherwise. So I always take a bit on my brush and then I wipe it off, and then you're going to just put a little bit on the end of there and just attach it together.
Right.
Because you want to start off to attach it, and then just very carefully, just start to roll them over one another.
It's like plaiting someone's hair, isn't it?
It
really?
is a little bit, yeah. And then once you get to the point where you've got a nice rope, you can just start to roll them. Okay, come on, behave yourself.
That's great.
And you just roll the sugar paste over.
Like candy canes.
That's it. And just keep rolling. Now, obviously, you don't want to roll too much because if it gets too thin, so you want to try and get it the same width all the way across.
Looks pretty even to me.
Well, I've had to make quite a lot already.
I can see that, yeah, with lots of practice.
So, and you can just fold the end over but on itself if you want. And then just keep, but beware, because if you roll one end, the other end will unravel. So that's why I'm keeping one hand very gently here while I'm moving this end, and then the same here, because you don't want it to get overdone.
Excellent.
Okay. If you want to, if it makes you feel a little more confident about picking it up, you could just pop a little bit of edible glue once you've got it to where you want it to be, just in between the rolls there, just to make sure it just holds. But you have to be careful with the edible glue because it does, you can see it.
Right.
Sometimes when it dries, it can dry a little bit shiny,
okay,
which obviously you don't want to see that. And then once you get to the opposite end, obviously you can just pop a little bit more glue in here just to make sure that it holds.
What great techniques these are.
And just press it down. Okay, so then we're going to go back to our cake, because at this stage, obviously we've got a lot of these to make, but you need to attach it while it's still warm.
I'd be nervous of picking it up.
Yeah,
is there an act to it?
The reason that it's got the florist paste in is for that. If you did that in just sugar paste, it would snap.
Right.
Almost.
But adding the florist paste to it keeps its rigidity.
It gives it elasticity.
Right.
That's what it does. So it just gives you more options to work with it, which is nice. It just gives it, more elasticity mainly, that's the thing.
It's fascinating. I've loved doing Cake Academy shows.
So all I'm going to do is just, where I made those holes with the template, I'm just popping a little bit of edible glue, just where the holes are. If I can see them, should have my glasses on. And now I'm obviously you can see this end is not very neat, but that's okay. I'm just pick it up and pop it on the board, just so that I'm not lifting it too far. You see, that bit's already snapped, but it doesn't matter. You can just roll it a little bit more and just attach it on, because that's where the glue is, okay?
Yep.
Okay, and don't worry if you've got bits sticking over the top, because you can get rid of those later.
Trim it off.
Yeah, exactly. And then you can just attach it where you've put the edible glue and hold it. Just pop a little bit more underneath, just to hold it in place. I'm just going to pop a little bit more, and it's drying very quickly in here.
Do you normally have like a cooler environment when you're doing this at home? Or?
I would say I probably do, yeah.
Right.
And then I'm just going to break that off, so that I've got that first section.
Studios do have a habit of being quite warm places, which doesn't always work with.
Well, sometimes it works in your favour, because obviously the sugar paste is not going to dry out quite as quickly as it would normally, because it's nice and warm. But it depends. So there we go. That's just holding nicely in place now. Just need to keep an eye on it, and I'm just going to trim that little bit off the top. But don't worry too much about this top edge, because we're going to put this little heart on to cover it up. So you don't have to worry about it being too neat at that stage.
Now, if we just twirl it round, look at this. Isn't it lovely? It's the right depth, it's the right drop, it's been trimmed to perfection, and just keep on going around it.
Yeah, exactly. So all you do then is just keep going round. So I've still got another little bit here. Just going to roll it over a bit more and just add one more.
Do you find once you've got the hang of it, it gets quicker and quicker to do?
Oh, definitely, definitely. I mean, I remember when I very, very first started my business, I would be up till 4 in the morning, you know, making cakes, and then getting up with the children at 7, you know.
Oh, good grief.
And I think often, you know, because you want it to be perfect, and, you know, it is time consuming, but you definitely get quicker.
But that's why, you know, decorated cakes by people like Fran or anyone that does it for a living, and they invest a lot of time in it, they are very expensive because of the amount of time that's been put in. If you can do it yourself and have the fun in doing it, and the reward is just to see everybody's face at the end of it when they come and pick them up, or you deliver them, or whatever you do.
I always say, actually, that it's the same buzz as being on the stage. It's when people come to pick up a cake and they say, "Oh, Fran, you're so wonderful."
What did you used to do on stage?
It's just the same, musical theatre.
Oh, fantastic.
Musical theatre. But, you know, it's the same as putting yourself on a stage and asking people to clap for you. It's the same thing. They're telling you how wonderful you are. It's the same thing. So that's, now I've created that drop. So I can show you now the next section.
Now, the next section, as you can probably see... Oh, let's do a shopping list, first of all, of what we've been using then in the last 10, 15 minutes. Let's show you the moulds, first of all. We're going to use those next, actually. Yeah. So have a little look at the moulds here. You get 3 silicone moulds, but one of them's actually got 3 images in it. I'll just bend down and get them again. You've got your rose silicone mould, you've got your teacup, you've got the cupcake, you've got the cake, and then you've got your 4 hearts as well. All of those, plus you're getting your cupcake bases, and you've also got your sugar paste in that beautiful ballerina pink. All of that in one bundle is £26.99 today if you're a club member. If you're not, it's £29.99. We also use the glue from the first item, remember. Now, this has got the beautiful blue sugar paste in it. It's also, of course, got the flour paste that we talked about as well, which you can add to it if you choose to. You've got the luster, and you've also, of course, got the glue and the book, which is all about cake decorating from home, how to start a business, written by Kathy Moore. I'm just giving you a quick flick through that. Let's just have a little look here. 10% of this is now gone. It doesn't just kind of talk all about it. It shows you how you can copyright certain designs if you want to, maybe laying out your own stationery, business cards, that sort of thing, accounting, all those sort of things that you have to think about. It's not just making lovely cakes. Costs, pricing, and making a profit. How many times maybe have you decorated a cake and not really thought about the actual cost of it and ended up losing money or not making any money? So yeah, it covers the business side of it as well. Using time effectively, websites and e-commerce. So it's right up to date. If you fancy the idea of working from home, maybe like Fran, you've got youngsters and it's not practical to go on tour or work away from home anymore, why not work at home? And this is going to help you. It's a great idea to have a book about that, to be honest. Because it's all well and good, isn't it? Kind of being good at something, but also being good at business. They're 2 different things. Yeah,
and I think people are often very scared of pricing as well.
Yeah.
You know, but the fact is that what people are paying for is your time. They're not paying for a cake that you buy in a supermarket.
No.
You're paying for a bespoke service.
Exactly.
And I think once you sort of, sometimes half of it is having the confidence to understand that actually what you're offering is something completely different.
Totally.
And, and that's one of the things that we like to teach.
Well, lots of you going for this right now. It's £7 off if you go for the bundle, and it's £25.19, actually better than £7 off if you're in the Crate and Craft Club. 375 345 on this Sunday afternoon's Cake Academy. So we're back with the lovely Fran Willoughby from Squire's Kitchen down the south of England. Of course, we were talking about Mark, the winner of Creme de la Creme. If you're watching, Mark, good job. As I say, I caught the first one and the last one, and I saw Mark go out in the first episode, and I thought, oh, that's a shame. I really wanted him to kind of go on, and of course, he got the highest score as a
highest runner-up.
Highest runner-up, that's right. So he got invited back into the final, and he won it.
Semi-final.
Semi-final.
Yeah, he went to the semi-final and then he went on to win. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, and we all went up to London and watched it with him.
Did you?
He went.
Oh,
yeah.
fantastic.
It was lovely. Yeah. Okay, so what I've done now is I've gone back to the original sugar paste. This has not got this sugar florist paste mixed in with it anymore. This is just, and particularly that's important because I think when using moulds and things like that, people think that they have to use a firmer paste. Now, depending on what sugar paste you're using, that is often the case. But with ours, you don't, because it is firmer.
Right.
So that's a really...
So no Tylo needed?
No, definitely not. No, or CMC. That's the other thing that people... I think Tylo's is more readily available in America.
Ah, right, OK.
Really. But yeah, so all I've got now is I've got a little rolling pin, and I've got our mould. And I'm just going to show you how I create these little cupcakes here, which are obviously all done in different colours.
Now, these are gorgeous. They really, really are. So
Yeah.
you've got a white, a baby pink, and then a slightly brighter pink. Plus, you've got the dots on there, which intrigue me.
Yeah, well, they're done with a little edible food pen.
I didn't know there were such things.
Yeah, and they all come in different colours. Again, these are the Squire's Kitchen, and they're really lovely. They're really handy way to add detail, like if you have a black one for doing eyes on models and things like that. But today, I've just got the pink one. So, the way to start, I'm going to obviously choose the cupcake in the mould, and just take a very small amount here and just work it and make sure it's warm. If you don't work it enough, it can look a bit sort of cracked when it comes out. So you want to make sure that it's nice and warm. And I'm just going to push it into the bottom, into the case. What would be the case of the cupcake?
Yep.
Okay. So just push that in. And I'm just going to use my little palette knife just to make sure that that edge in there is really nice and straight, because I don't want it to come onto what is the cake section here.
As with all of the moulds that you see here on the Cake Academy, they are incredibly detailed, aren't they?
Oh yeah, they are, definitely. And they're made out of silicone, so they can actually be used for if you want to use boiled sugar, like isomalt in them, or you can use them with modelling chocolate, like cocoa form.
Right.
So, you know, you're not just limited to using them for sugar paste. You can use them for lots of other things as well, and they can go in the dishwasher and they clean beautifully, because they can be up to temperatures of about 240 degrees, I think.
Right.
So yeah, really versatile. So then I've just taken a little piece of the ballerina pink here and just pushed that into the mould as well for the next section, this next layer here. Okay. And then finally, just to put the icing on the top, a little bit of white. This is just, again, bridal white sugar paste.
And you can see there's actually little dots in the mould itself where you can then decorate with the pen.
Yeah,
there's actually little...
Well, it gives you the detail to follow when you take it out of the mould. So just push that final bit into the top there, and just give it a good squidge and make sure that it's all pushed down nicely. And then you can just take a palette knife and just very carefully just take all that excess paste off the back, okay? And then just smooth it back across. And just make sure that it's sitting nicely into all the edges of the mould.
Right.
Now, at this stage, some people would try and peel it out. You mustn't.
No?
No. All you need to do is turn it over, hold it above your hand, and whack it with the rolling pin, and it just pops out.
Oh, right. I've not seen that technique before. That's the way to do it without damaging it.
Absolutely. And then you can just pop it down. I usually use a little foam pad.
I'm sure you've got a rolling pin at home you can whack that with.
Yeah,
well, most of us have.
Anything, just anything that you can just give it a nice little whack. And pop it on a little foam pad. like that. And then that just lets it air dry. And then just take the little pen, and just using the very tip of it.
So is it like a brush nib on the pen then?
No, it's like a felt tip.
Right.
Yeah. And then you can just, but it is quite pointed, so you can use it for detail, you know, which is nice.
It's quite juicy as well. You don't have to put any pressure, do you?
No, definitely not. No. And then just apply all the little detailed dots. And like you said, because the detail's in the mould, all I'm doing is copying the design that's already in the mould.
Ingenious. Now, I don't think we've got those pens on the show. Might be worth having a little search on the website, createandcraft.tv, to see if we've got any in stock on the website. But remember, there's a whole section dedicated to the Cake Academy.
The pen is in the bundle.
Oh, is it? So I beg
Yeah.
your pardon. I didn't see that there. Sorry.
Yeah, the pen is in the
the
main
pen's
cake
in there.
decorating bundle
Brilliant.
with the blue sugar paste and the glue and the lustre.
That was
and
hidden. I didn't
everything.
see that there.
Yeah, but it's just
Oh, great. So it is there included in item number 1, which is
Yeah.
fantastic. So there it is, included with the start your own decorating business at home.
Yeah. And then once you get to that stage, just take a little bit of edible glue.
Sorry, I missed that.
And then just pop it in the centre here, just as I have done like this, you can see. And then you can just very carefully place it on the side. Just hold it in place. And the edible glue is quite strong, actually. You wouldn't expect, because that's quite a heavy little
Yeah, nothing's dropping off at all, is
and
it?
it's not dropping off at all. So that's how you do it.
Fantastic.
And then just to finish off your ropes at the top, in whichever colour you like, I'm going to do the slightly darker pink. Just taking the heart mould here. And just
And you've
again,
got 4 different sizes of hearts in the mould as well, which is always handy to have.
Well, it's nice because then you can tie in the different sizes when you decorate your cupcakes.
Absolutely.
So, so just make sure your mould, if your moulds are a bit, if they look like they might have a little bit of fluff in, a top tip is just to take a bit of sugar paste and then you can throw that bit away. Yeah. So again, exactly the same technique, except obviously we're only using one colour this time. And if you want as well, I should just say, I'm just going to take that out again, the Gildasol here, which is, it's beeswax. And if you find that you're having trouble getting the moulds out, the sugar paste out, you can just pop a little bit on your hands, or a little bit of white fat, and it doesn't affect the paste, although you should be careful not to use too much.
It just makes it a little bit slippery.
Yeah, exactly, and it just helps with getting it out of the mould.
Now, with every Cake Academy show, I always wonder where the time goes. We've only got about 5 minutes left on the show now, but so many great demonstrations from Fran today. So that's your heart. And we're going to pop that on the rope.
Yep.
There we go. Pop that in the middle.
Oh.
Remember, you do get the rose mould as well, which is so beautifully delicate and intricate.
I'll just show it quickly. Because again, that is it's a really, really simple, and I think people, again, with this kind of mould often think, oh, I'll never be able to get that out of the mould, you know, and that's just not the case. As long as your paste is warm, a little bit of white fat or a little Gildasol on your hands, and just literally push it in. Take the excess off the back in exactly the same way. Again, just press it over, make sure that all the edges are clean, and then just bash with the rolling pin.
Good top tip, how to get it all out without it misshapening or anything like that.
And then what you can do is just take a little bit of the lustre.
Which is in the first set we showed you.
Yeah, and a brush. And I usually like to do it on a little bit of kitchen roll, because if you do it on your board, everything you roll out for the next week will be lustered. So just very carefully. And it's a good idea to do it at this stage as well, only because the Gildasol or the white fat that's on the paste holds the lustre.
Right.
So it just means if you just catch it before it dries.
So the lustre isn't any particular colour, it's just like a shimmer.
This one is. There are lots of different colours of lustres,
Right.
but this one is just a really useful one to have in your toolbox. It's called Snowflake, and it basically just adds a beautiful sort of metallic-y shine.
Oh wow, look.
To anything, and it's always a good idea to work it into the brush on the kitchen roll first, and then you can just all over just brush it all over very gently.
Very nice. And that's how you did the dome of roses that's on the top of this cake just here.
Exactly,
so,
and it's just built on a round of sugar paste.
It is incredible. It's beautiful. It's such a kind of a carnival-looking cake, this. I love it to bits. Now, we've, from start to finish, shown you how to really kind of cover the cake, how to decorate the cake. Lots of different skills and techniques from Fran, so thanks ever so much. Fantastic to see you. Let's remind you of the kits that we've had in the show. And don't forget, this does come with a pen, which I missed earlier on, apologies. You get that red pen. You're also getting, of course, as well as that, you're getting the book, which is how to start your own cake decorating business at home. You get your luster. You get the edible glue. You also get your sugar paste in bridal white and also in lullaby blue as well. And you also get your floral paste in there as well, don't you, too? Yes. So all of that, that's a good place to start, actually. For £25.19, it's 375,345 if you'd like that. The moulds that we were using in the last few minutes of the show, actually, you've got all of those moulds, plus you're also getting your sugar paste in the pink, ballerina pink, and also the cupcake cases as well, with those three moulds, sorry, and they are £26.99 if you're in the Crate and Craft Club for that, 375,377. Now, if you love colour, then here is our bundle of the wonderful colours. These are colour paste. You get 10 of those, all the primary ones that you need. Plus you also get your white sugar paste as well, a big bundle of that, and your smoothers to get that lovely, crisp, sharp edge to the cake. £22.49. Don't forget, of course, these other books that we've got. Not only, of course, is Mark going to bring a book out, I wonder?
He's got a couple.
Has he?
Yeah, he has got, I think there may be something in the pipeline there. Ah,
right, OK. As a result of winning it, yeah. Absolutely. So this one, though, if you recognise this lady, she was also in Creme de la Creme with Mark as well. There's Mackie Searle. This is her book, which is Cakes to Fall in Love With. And then also, of course, we've got this fantastic book as well from Paddy Clark, who actually taught Fran all she knows about making these wonderful flowers. That's Sugar Flowers for Beginners. Step-by-step guide as well. Fran, it's been great. Thanks ever so much for coming down. Send our love to everyone at Squire's Kitchen and Mark and all the team. And we'll see you again soon, hopefully. Lots more to see, of course, here on Create and Craft, cake-wise, during the week as well. But this is, of course, our dedicated Cake Academy slot every Sunday at 5 o'clock for all things cake. I'll see you a bit later on. Don't forget, of course, how about this subscription too?
Cake Masters magazine is one of the UK's leading cake decorating monthlies. It includes fabulous step-by-step cake tutorials, recipes, expert advice, competitions, interviews, design inspirations, and so much more. You can order your 12-month subscription to Cake Masters magazine right here for just £35 and with free UK P&P. To order your 12-month subscription, either visit createandcraft.tv or call 09056 480 480 and quote the